look forward to the month of October for several reasons. It's officially fall in my book, and Portland Open Studios takes place that same month. For a couple of weekends in October, artists around the city open up their galleries and workspaces to share their love for the art that they create. This past October, my pal Lauren and I headed out on one of those days, and here's a quick peek at the artists we met along the way. How long have you been doing your artistry?
I've been doing fused glass for 10 years.
And are you self-taught, or did you go to school for it? Or
I do not have a formal art education. I'm a retread. I'm retired from another field, but we're right across the street from the glass factory.
Gotcha.
And they teach classes over here. So the first class I took was a little more than 10 years ago, and it kind of became an obsession after that. There are lots of glass artists and teachers in the Northwest, so I've taken classes from a number of them.
Wonderful. Wonderful. What do you love best about it?
You know, I think glass is very versatile. You're kind of only limited by your imagination.
Mm-hmm.
I only do fused glass, but surprisingly, there are just any number of techniques because you can slump the glass to shape it into different shapes. You can put component parts on the glass. You can have different inclusions, such as even copper or mica powders. So there's really nothing that limits you other than what your own constraints are in your mind. If you really think of it, you probably can do it if you think hard enough about it.
How many hours of work do you create? In a week or a month? I don't know how you look at it.
Well, I have a studio in the back of this warehouse space, and I usually work most days for some hours. And if I'm very obsessed, I'll come down on the weekend and work on Saturday and Sunday. I have some other responsibilities, so sometimes other things take precedent, but and it depends. You know, you can't really make art when you're not inspired. So sometimes you have a little dry spell. You have to think it over.
What inspires you most?
Oh, you know, I think that nature and the colors in nature, and I think as I get older, I like more vibrant colors. So I think glass really lends itself to being able to create vibrant things, and also the experimentation involved, because even if I'm creating something, because with fused glass it has to be compatible, you may make something and only like a section out of it, and you can cut that out and salvage it by putting it into another piece, or even creating a tabletop out of it. So I think that's it's kind of like paper collage in a way. You can have component parts and then decide to combine them together.
Which keeps your imagination just spinning all
Exactly,
the time.
exactly. So even if you rejected something from the past, you could revisit it.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Are you represented anywhere else in Portland, or mostly just here?
This is actually my small gallery space. I've been in some shows, and I used to do the glass gallery down at the convention center, but I've had neck surgery, and glass is very heavy.
Yes.
So it's very difficult for me to pack glass and carry it around, which is one reason why I appreciate having this small space and being the mad designer in the back room. The part I'm not very good at is the marketing part.
And let's talk a little bit. What is the type of art that you do?
I'm a printmaker, so I work on copper plates and etch into them with acid and rub ink into the line, and then use wet paper and a lot of pressure from these etching presses to pull the ink back out of the line. And
did you study this type of art?
A little bit, but mostly I've learned by working in co-ops and collectives like this.
So the sort of the each one teach one, and putting things together, working on pieces together, or learning techniques?
Just learning techniques by just more osmosis, kind of being in the studio and seeing different techniques and learning from different artists.
Well, you have beautiful work, and is this the only place folks can come to see your work, or are you shown somewhere else?
Not in town, although I've had been in group shows at 12 by 16 Gallery in Selwood, but part of what we like about this space is that the front kind of acts as a gallery, so we can show work here too.
So you said you can't find your work pretty much in Portland. Where can you find your work?
Bellingham, Washington, right now. But for right now, I've been really happy to show the work in the space that I made it in. So, and I feel like I just am sort of getting ready to maybe try and show somewhere else anyway. So it's been a perfect fit right now because I make it here, and then I frame it here, and then I hang it on the wall. So,
you know, you're the second artist we've talked to today. We spoke to Robin Williams. She's down near Selwood, and she's an encaustic, or an assembler, I believe, is how she identified herself, and working with encaustic, so forth and so on. But my point is, she's a new emerging into the public eye kind of artist as well. This is your first year participating with Open Studio?
Yes.
And what motivated you to get involved with this?
I've lived in Portland a long time, but we spent 3 years in Boston, and I did the Jamaica Plain Open Studios there, and it was fantastic.
Who are you? I'm Annie Meyer, and this is my studio that I've had for 11 years. It's a 2-room studio. I can show in the front room, and I can work in the back room, or both. And I do a combination of paintings and monotype prints and some ceramic tile. And my work is abstract landscapes and figurative.
You've clearly done this before. I don't have any questions. Thank you.
I just tell everybody that walks in the room. So.
How long have you been an artist?
I've drawn the figures since high school.
Yeah.
And I started doing some tile work in 1984. And about 1992, I just was like, how come I'm not doing this for a living, and just made the move.
A volunteer board processes applications submitted by local artists each spring to determine who will be in this year's Open Studio event. Portland Open Studios always takes place the second and third weekends in October, so be sure to put it in your 2011 calendar today so you don't forget. For more information about Portland Open Studios, see their website, www.portlandopenstudios.com.